her name early on. Lily. Simple, beautiful, meant something to both of us. Eric's grandmother was named Lily, and it was also my middle name. We must have talked about it 100 times, how perfect it would sound, how she'd grow into it. When I went into labor, Eric wasn't there. He was supposed to be, but he texted me saying his car broke down and he couldn't make it to the hospital. I was hurt, but not totally surprised. Reliability wasn't exactly his strong suit. The birth was long and exhausting, but when they placed my daughter in my arms, everything felt perfect. The nurse handed me some paperwork to sign, but I was so tired and emotional that I just scribbled my signature wherever they pointed. 3 days later, Eric texted me, "Hey, I submitted the birth certificate paperwork. Congrats on our beautiful daughter." I didn't think much of it. I figured he meant he'd picked up his copy or something. But then 2 weeks later, the official birth certificate arrived in the mail. I opened it up expecting to see Lily, written in neat black letters. Instead, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Lilith Raider 99. At first, I thought it was some kind of clerical error. Maybe someone at Vital Records had a stroke while typing. I called them immediately, explaining that there had been a mistake with my daughter's name. "Ma'am, this is the name that was submitted by the father," the woman on the phone told me. Lilith Raider 99, all one word, legally. I hung up and called Eric, my hands shaking with rage. "What the hell did you do?" I screamed when he picked up. "Oh, you got the certificate?" He sounded amused. "Yeah, I changed my mind about the name. Lily seemed too basic." "We agreed on Lily. You can't just change a baby's name without telling the mother." That's when he explained his twisted logic. Turns out Eric was still completely obsessed with World of Warcraft, the game he spent 16 hours a day playing instead of getting a job. Lilith was his favorite sorceress character that he'd been playing for 8 years. Raider 99 was his original gamer tag from when he first started playing online games as a teenager. He actually had Raider 99 tattooed across his chest in Gothic letters. This wasn't just some random decision. This was his way of marking our daughter like she was his property, his final stamp of control over our relationship. "She's my daughter too," he said with this sick satisfaction in his voice, "and I want her to have a name that means something to me. You named our child after a video game character." Lilith is a powerful name. She'll thank me when she's older. I lost it completely. I was screaming so loud that my neighbors came over to check if I was okay. My poor daughter was going to go through life being called Lilith Raider 99, like she was some kind of online gaming account. I immediately called a lawyer. Turns out, changing a child's name after it's been legally registered is incredibly complicated and expensive. I had to prove that the name change was in the child's best interest. And since Eric was the legal father, he had to either agree to it or be proven unfit. Eric fought me every step of the way. He hired his own lawyer and claimed that I was trying to deny him his parental rights. He actually argued in court that Lilith Raider 99 was a unique and meaningful name that would help our daughter stand out. The judge looked like he wanted to throw Eric out a window when he heard the full story. But the legal process still took 9 months and cost me $8,000 in legal fees. I had to work double shifts as a waitress just to afford it, barely seeing my baby while fighting to give her a normal name. Finally, the judge ruled in my favor. He said that naming a child after video game characters with numbers attached was clearly not in the child's best interests and could subject her to unnecessary ridicule and hardship. The day I got the new birth certificate with Lily printed on it, I cried harder than when she was born. My daughter was 2 years old by then, just starting to say her own name. Eric still refers to her as Lilith when he picks her up for his weekend visits. But legally, officially, she's Lily, just like we originally agreed. What baby name makes you... What baby name makes